This is the Isle of Man TT. And these guys are racing down narrow streets so fast that one wrong move and you're hitting a stone wall.
There they come across there. Oh, and that's Andrew Reddy. Oh!
Faster than a skydiver who forgot to pack his parachute. Bikes catch air between actual houses. Riders' knees brush against walls at insane speeds. And there are no safe runoff zones. Just someone's front garden, the local pub, or a cliff waiting to catch anyone who misjudges a corner. It's 226 straight miles of raw adrenaline.
It's unbelievable.
And it's already claimed over 300 lives. So, while everyone's busy arguing about how many dudes it takes to beat up a gorilla, they're missing the real question. What kind of absolute madman conquers the mountain, home of the deadliest race on the entire planet? Each lap of the Isle of Man TT is 37 miles of absolute mayhem, a crazy ribbon of tarmac that cuts through towns where normal people buy milk and walk dogs 50 weeks a year. But for 2 weeks, this place morphs into the most bonkers racing circus you've ever seen. What makes it so deadly? Oh man, where do I even start? First up, you've got to memorize over 200 corners, tons of them blind, with crazy names like Balagari. Locals call it Balascary, because duh. And Argo's Leap. You're basically threading a needle between lampposts, trees, brick walls, and somebody's kitchen at 200 miles per hour. Miss your braking spot by a few feet, you just turn someone's living room into modern art with pieces of your bike, and maybe yourself. It's the mountain course saying,
You're locked in here with me.
the weather up there flips faster than Conor McGregor's juiced up Twitter rants. You can start a lap in perfect sunshine and hit a wall of fog or pouring rain halfway through, sometimes both. The course climbs and drops 1,300 feet. You're pretty much racing from beach level, up a mountain and back down while dodging garden gnomes. And you're not even racing other bikes directly. It's all you against the clock. Riders take off 10 seconds apart, battling nothing but time and their own limits. Fastest total time wins. You could push your absolute guts out for 2 hours and lose by seconds. That's exactly what happened in 2018 when Hickman beat Harrison by just 2 ticks after 6 full laps. 2 seconds!
8.4 miles an hour, we've witnessed history.
135 miles per hour.
The first winner, way back in 1907, this dude, Charles Collier, averaged a whopping 38 miles per hour. Adorable. Today's lap record, Peter Hickman, 2023, bombing around at an average of 136.358 miles per hour. So why the hell do they do it? Money? Please. These guys could practically make more cash flipping burgers without turning themselves into crash test dummies. See, it's not about living till you're old and crusty. It's about living flat out. The whole island goes full on race crazy during TT week. Roads shut down, grandstands pop up like mushrooms, and 40,000 bike nuts flood in, dumping about 37 million pounds into local pockets. I mean, the race has literally only stopped for world wars, a foot and mouth disease outbreak, and the pandemic. It's basically in the island's DNA at this point. But somehow, defying all logic and common sense, one family has turned this killer mountain into their personal playground. A family that's already lost 3 of their own to motorcycle racing, and yet they keep coming back for more. The freaking Dunlops! In road racing circles, the Dunlop name is a full-blown religion with die-hard followers worldwide. 3 generations who've risked it all for a race that normal people with functioning survival instincts wouldn't even dream of entering. It all kicked off with Joey Dunlop, a guy so legendary in Northern Ireland, they might as well have slapped his face on their money. Joey stacked up 26 TT wins between 1977 and 2000. And the whole time, Joey stayed humble as hell, puttering around on his 125cc bike to races, where he'd then absolutely smoke everyone else on machines twice as big. The locals called him your man. That's your man in Northern Irish speak, because he was the ultimate people's champion. The dude would demolish the competition on Sunday, then jump in a truck loaded with supplies and drive to Romanian orphanages on Monday. He scored an OBE from the Queen in '96 for that humanitarian work, not for making other racers eat his dust. Unfortunately, meeting his maker in 2000 at a 125cc race in Estonia at the age of 48. Then there's Robert Dunlop, Joey's brother, and Michael's dad. More about Michael later. Robert bagged 5 TT wins himself, and many insiders considered him the more naturally gifted of the brothers. Tragically, he passed away doing exactly what Dunlops do, racing motorcycles. At the Northwest 200 in 2008, the absolute gut punch, his son, Michael, was racing in the same damn event when it happened. And William Dunlop, Michael's big brother, kept the family tradition rolling with his own legit career before he crashed out for good at the Skerries 100 in 2018. 3 Dunlops, 3 races, 3 funerals. For any normal family, there'd be game over. Racing career deleted. But the Dunlops weren't wired like the rest of us. It's like they've got some extra DNA strand specifically coded for must go stupidly fast on 2 wheels. And Michael, this guy, doubled down on the family business while lugging around emotional baggage that would flatten most humans into puddles. He somehow channeled it all into becoming the most successful TT racer ever to twist a throttle. Michael jumped into the TT deep end in 2007 when he was barely 18, burning those 200 corners into his brain and calculating braking points at speeds that would make Top Gun pilots puke in their helmets. His early years weren't exactly highlight reels. Racing in the shadow of stars like John McGuinness is tough enough without the added pressure. Try doing it with Dunlop plastered across your back. That's pressure that will crumble most riders. But 2009 was his glow-up moment after DNFing his first 3 races and nearly rage quitting the TT. He snatched the second Supersport win. These days, Gen Z's out there cancelling plans because their DoorDash order got delayed, but Michael's rewriting history with zero chill. After that, he changed into something totally different. While his uncle Joey was calculated and his dad Robert was smooth, Michael developed a style that can only be described as violent negotiation with physics. You could call it an unleashed animal approach, and it kicked off his first big rivalry with McGuinness, the established mountain king. Classic young lion versus old master stuff. Except both lions were bombing around at speeds where one tiny mistake means becoming roadkill. What really separates Michael from the pack is how he hops from totally different bikes like it's nothing. Most riders find one manufacturer that clicks and stick with it forever. Michael, he's racked up wins on Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, BMW, Suzuki, and Peyton. That's like fluent in 6 completely different languages and dropping platinum albums in all of them. The absolute high point came in 2016 when Michael pulled off what everyone swore was impossible, blasting around the mountain course in under 17 minutes. During that legendary RST Superbike race, he shattered the barrier with a 133.369 mile/hour average. The mountain had basically drawn this invisible line in the sand, saying nobody goes under 17 minutes. And Michael just grinned, said, "Watch this," and rewrote the record books in real time. But how do you go from a great rider into the mountain's master? What makes Michael different from the hundreds who've tried and failed to tame the Isle of Man TT? What drives a man to keep coming back to the very thing that's taken such a devastating toll on his family? Just watching Michael Dunlop on a bike tells you everything about how his brain is wired. The guy practically wages war against the mountain, yelling out,
Are you not entertained?
Road racing has already claimed his dad at the Northwest 200, his uncle in Estonia, and his brother at Skerries 100. And Michael's response? Go even faster, twist the throttle harder, and give the Grim Reaper the middle finger at 200 miles per hour. His riding style makes other aggressive racers look like they're on a leisurely Sunday bike ride through the park. The way he chucks the bike into corners is downright violent, like he's wrestling a wild animal rather than riding a machine worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Off the bike, that aggression doesn't magically disappear. Michael's got his take no prisoners attitude that's landed him in hot water with race teams, rival riders, and yeah, even his own brother at times.
Like me or hate me, I've won 21 TTs. 95% of the people out there that race motorbikes don't understand what it's took for me to be here today. I know what it takes for this sport.
The dude is so savage, he won't even say his competitors' names in interviews. We're not talking about someone who shows up to make buddies and collect nice try medals. He's there to absolutely demolish records and make sure everyone remembers who the hell did it. Want the perfect example of how his brain is different from yours and mine? Amoy 2019. Michael broke his freaking pelvis in a crash. If you're anything like me, you'd be flat on your back in a hospital bed, begging for more morphine. Michael? He won the Amoy road race just 16 days later, then went out and won again. That's borderline cray, but the kind of crazy that separates racing gods from mere mortals. As Michael climbed to the top, he found himself another worthy dance partner in Peter Hickman, a totally different kind of rider. Where Michael is all rage and fury, Hickman is ice-cold precision. Their completely opposite styles created this massive battle for mountain dominance that pushed both guys to do things on bikes that shouldn't be humanly possible. It's similar to the legendary F1 rivalry between Senna and Prost. Raw, aggressive talent versus calculated, technical precision. And just like in F1, this rivalry forced both riders to level up to almost superhero status. The 2023 TT turned into an absolute war between these two titans. They literally carved up the entire event between them, splitting all 8 solo victories and rewriting the record books. Perfect sunny conditions all week meant these two could push the absolute limits of what bikes and human bodies can handle. Dunlop set the tone right away in practice with an unofficial lap at 135.537 mile per hour on his Hawk Racing Honda. Hickman responded by breaking the Superbike race record at 135.445 miles per hour on a BMW that was basically falling apart under him. Broken quick shifter, wobbling like crazy, sketchy brakes and all. Just imagine driving your car with 3 flat tires and still winning the Indy 500. The madness didn't stop there. Their rivalry turned the Supersport class, traditionally the smaller bikes, into an absolute speed fest. Both guys smashed through the 130 mile per hour barrier on 600cc machines. But Hickman saved his most insane moment for the second Superstock race on a race-prepped version of a production bike, the kind you can find at your local dealer. He posted an unbelievable 136.358 mile per hour lap, the first ever 136 mile per hour lap in TT history on a Superstock machine. As the competition got tougher, Michael's approach evolved. The core aggression stayed, but he got smarter about when to unleash the beast and when to dial it back. he started thinking more strategically without losing the raw edge that makes him special. Adapting without taking away what makes him Michael freaking Dunlop. Then 2024 hit, the year Michael crushed his legendary Uncle Joey's record of 26 TT wins. You can't overstate how huge this is. Joey was the man, the gold standard, the untouchable legend. For Michael to smash that record while carrying the Dunlop name and all the baggage that comes with it, that's mental strength that makes David Goggins look soft. His response after tying Joey's record in the first Supersport race, go straight out and win the Super Twin race. The same freaking day for win number 27. Then rack up wins 28 and 29 before the week was over. That's Michael in a nutshell. Never satisfied, always hungry, always looking for the next mountain to climb. And this year's TT showed just that. In 2025, he demolished the competition again. 4 more wins in both the Supersport and Super Twin, pushing his total to an insane 33 victories. Sure, you can't help but feel a bit salty about how it all played out. Not just because they had to cancel the senior TT after rain turned the mountain section into an ice rink from hell with 30-mile-per-hour winds, but also because we got robbed of a clash of the titans that we'd all been waiting to see. Hickman crashed hard during qualifying, like 140-mile-per-hour hard. And although he looks like he's just gone 5 rounds with Francis Ngannou, you've got to be thankful that it wasn't more serious. The last few years, Hickman has been the man to beat, coming first in the Superbike TT last year, second the year before that, and first again in 2022, 2019 and 2017. Still, you can't take anything away from Dunlop. The crazy part is, his second Super Twin win smashed his own lap record, a 123.056 mile/hour average. I mean, the guy literally beat himself. And that first Supersport victory made history in a totally different way. He gave Ducati their first TT win since 1995. Yeah, Michael ended a 30-year drought for the Italians like it was no big deal. So what does it take to conquer the mountain? Zero fear, ridiculous talent, and straight up stubbornness. It takes someone willing to bet their life lap after lap, year after year. It takes someone who can look death right in the face after watching it take family members and twist the throttle even harder. Michael Dunlop has 33 wins, the most ever. But when it's all said and done, his legacy is more than that. He's keeping a raw form of motorsport alive in our bubble-wrapped world. Real danger, real stakes, real glory. It might take 100 men to beat a gorilla, but it doesn't take 100 men to conquer the mountain. It takes one, as long as he's called Dunlop.